Hello everyone, I am your teacher Bhandari ma'am. This is our second lecture for the subject data structure using C. So today we will look at some different points of data structures. For the lecture number 2, we require some prerequisite like ADT. As we have already seen, what is ADT? ADT is the abstract data type or abstract data structure. Then we will learn some concept. We have learned some concepts of data structure and basic data types. Today, what we have to learn here in the second lecture, the teaching learning outcomes of the second lectures are: first, we have to learn the classification of data structure. Secondly, applications of data structure. And lastly, the operations on data structure. So we'll just revise some prerequisites. So what is data structure and what is ADT? So data structure is a structure for the data. We have to store the data into the memory, and for that we have to develop some structures. Those structures are that much efficient that we can properly retrieve that data very easily. So that means we have to develop a structure to store that data so that we can retrieve it very efficiently. So such type of structures to store the data into the memory is called as data structure. Okay, data structure, the structures for the data to be stored into the memory so that we can retrieve it very efficiently. Okay, so that is the data structure. We have to design some data structures by using some primitive data types, and those data structures are very helpful to retrieve the data efficiently. Okay, after that, second thing we have learned is what is ADT. So abstract data type or abstract data structure is the second term. I have told you already what is ADT. It is an abstract data type. Abstract means some contents, the implementation details are hidden from the user. So when we are implementing the new data structures, we have to define different functionalities and different properties of that data structures. Those data structures, the functions and the implementation details are hidden from the user. So that's why they are called as abstract data type. Okay, when we are developing the data structures, some contents or the implementation details of that structure is hidden from the user, and so that we call them as abstract data type or abstract data structure. Okay, so we will go for the lecture contents now. The first content is the classification of data structure. It is very simple topic. What is classification of data structure? So basically data structures are divided into two broad types. First one is the primitive, or you can say it is a built-in data type, and second is non-primitive or user-defined data type. Already you know about the primitive data types. So the primitive data types are all the basic built-in data types like integer, float, character, string, etc. Non-primitive, or you can say it is a user-defined data types. So now these data types are your data structures which we are going to implement. Okay, so non-primitive, that means they are derived from the primitive data types. Okay, so the non-primitive data types are basically again divided into two types: linear and non-linear. Okay, so linear means the values which we are storing into that particular data types or data structures are linearly stored, or in a continuous data locations they are stored. The non-linear content, the data types are, or the record is not stored in the continuous memory locations. then it is called as non-linear. So these are the two data types, linear and non-linear. When we say linear, the data is stored in a continuous memory location. When it is non-linear, the data is not contained in a continuous memory location. So we will also see the examples of this. So in linear data types, the array, stack, queue, linked list, these are the examples of the linear data type or linear data structure. Secondly, in a non-linear, there are two basic things, the graph and the trees. Okay, so this is the classification of data structure, primitive and non-primitive. These are the two broad types. Primitive means the data types which are built in. Non-primitive means user defined data types which are derived from the primitive data types. Okay, so this is the difference between the primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Primitive data structures are predefined data types, as I already told you. It is a predefined data types. Non-primitive means they are not predefined. So primitive data structure again supported by all programming languages. They are basics of all programming languages. In non-primitive, they can be implemented with the help of primitive data structure. So for every language, we have to use the primitive data structure. Non-primitive data structures can be implemented with the help of primitive data structures, and primitive data structures supported by all programming languages. So all programming language supports primitive data structure, and with the help of those primitive data structures, we have to implement non-primitive data structures. After that, the third difference is they are not classified further. They are the basic, they are the unique data type. So they are not classified further. In a non-primitive data structure, they are linear and non-linear. These are the two basic data type, basic difference between the. Next, the examples. For the primitive data structure, the examples are integer, float and character. For the non-primitive, they are arrays, list, stacks, queues. These are the difference of the primitive and non-primitive data structure. This primitive data structure, if you want it in a basic form, the different basic data types are given: character, short, integer, long, double long, float, double. Its sizes are given, different sizes and ranges are also given for 32-bit PC CPUs and for 64-bit CPUs. Next, we have to learn the non-primitive data structure. So non-primitive data structure, in that first we have to learn the linear data structures. The linear data structure grows linearly. Okay, that means they are stored in a continuous memory location like your array. As you know about the array, in array we have to store the data in a continuous memory location. We require a continuous memory location for the number of data which is required for the array. So it's a linear data structure which grows linearly. Different operations which can be performed are in a linear way. Again, the operations we have to perform linearly for every element. These are the examples of linear data structure. The first one which is given is array. You know what is normally array is stored. So how the array will be look like, that is given here. The second one is the linked list, which we have to learn next. After that, non-primitive data structure. In that again the linear data structure stack is there. So stack is also a linear data structure in which insertion and deletion of an element which takes from only one end, and that end is called as top of the stack. We have to learn it in a deep, so just we will just overlook all these things. So linear data structure, the stack is there. So stack of books, stack of dishes, number of things we can use or we can do by using this linear data structure stack. There is a last in first out principle. Okay, so every time the insertion and deletion of any element can be taken place, by only one end, and that end is called as top of the stack. So this is the stack, which is a linear data structure. Next data structure is queue. So it is any queue for the again the queue is for the bank or for the bus. The queue is there. So in queue, the data structure, the insertion of an element takes place from one end and deletion of an element takes place from the another end. So this is the queue, which is also linear data structure. Some non-linear data structures are there. The non-linear data structure does not grow linearly. They are not stored in a continuous memory location. Okay. So this is the big difference between the linear and non-linear. When we say linear, they store the data in a linear fashion. They store the data in a continuous memory location. When we say it is a non-linear, they does not store the data in a linear location or continuous memory location. They grows level wise. So these are examples of trees and graph. You can also take the example of family tree. It is not linear family tree. Or the graph, different maps are there. So this is a basic example of non-linear data structure. Trees, graphs, yeah, non-linear data structures. Next are the applications of data structure. So recursive fashion function calls. This is the example for the stack. So these are the different applications. We have to learn it in detail for every chapter. So recursive function calls, when we call a recursive function, then we have to use a stack in the back. Then printer in a network, it uses the queue data structure. Number of commands for prints are given to the printer, and it solves or it completes every command in a linear fashion. One by one it will print every command. So the printer in a network uses that queue data structure behind the scene. After that, stored for data, it is files, city maps. As I already told you, what is graph? Graph means nothing but the maps. Different maps are used, and that map uses the data structure called as graph. So these are some applications of data structure. Recursive function call, in that we are using the stack. For the printer printer in a network or something like that, we are using the queue. Some stored files, stored data is there. So these are the files data structure. City maps are the example of graph data structure. Operations on data structure, for every data structure है ना. आता when we are implementing the data structure, we have to perform some operations on that. Okay, these operations are known to the user, but the implementation details are hidden from the user. Okay, just mind it that we have to design or we have to implement the data structure in an abstract way. So all these functions are known to the user, but their implementation details, how they are implemented, how we are going to create the data structure, how we are inserting the element, how we are deleting the element, all these functions or the implementation details are hidden from the user. Okay, so these are the basic operations which we can perform on every data structure. First one is a create or creation of data structure. Second, insertion of an element into the data structure. Deletion of an element from the data structure. Display the elements of data structure. Then we can search the element in the data structure, and we can modify elements from the data structure. So these are the basic operations. You can also develop some more operations on the data structure. These are the practice questions. If you want to learn properly, just revise the total lecture by using some practice questions. So define primitive and non-primitive data types. Give two examples of linear and non-linear data structure. Describe each operation performed on data structure in a single line. Write a program to find out the largest number from the given array. So these are some practice questions, or you can say you can take a revision of the chapter or the lecture by using this practice question. Okay. So solve them in a proper notebook so we can recall them at the time of examination. Okay, this is your second lecture. Thank you.